Hey everyone, how are you doing today? Hope you're doing well. So do me a favor before we get started, hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button and notification bell next to it so that you won't miss the episode. Also, check out my other channel on IG. It's elevation_mentor. So today we're going to talk about private equity and what private equity is. So it took me a while to understand what private equity is because it's something that's not taught. You really have to be in that environment and in that space. So if anyone already knows what it is, feel free to chime in. And what's your definition of private equity? You can leave that in the comments or just leave it in the comments as I talk. So, private equity. What is private equity? So, private equity is a bunch of people get together and they put their money together. And the goal of this is to buy a business. So, you have different people putting their money together. And the goal is to buy a business or businesses. The investment is usually large, like the total is like $5 million. So, the investment is usually a large amount of money. Sometimes it comes from large sources like pension funds, um, things like that. So, different people getting together, investing their money, and then the money is tied up for 10 years. So, you can't have any access to the money. The money is tied up. The money is large, the total between all of the different people. And the goal is to buy businesses. So they're getting together as a collective, buying businesses, and then sell the business. Then when you sell it, each person takes their profit. So that's private equity. So has anyone been exposed to that world of private equity? If I have any private equity investors watching me, connect with me. My email is below, and I am going to bring you on to the show. So has anyone been exposed to that world of private equity? Okay, so from what I am researching, there are 8,000 private equity firms. Has anyone ever been exposed to a private equity firm? Don't you find that interesting that these things are like right under your nose, but they're kind of hidden in plain sight? So, investing in private businesses. So, these are not on a stock exchange yet. They are mostly for accredited investors, but you will find a few that are not for accredited investors, but mostly they're for accredited investors. So it's kind of like you know how they say the rich get richer? Well, that's what they mean. Like they have certain opportunities that other people don't have. So if you're an accredited investor, you can invest in this. So that's like giving some people an advantage over other people. So we got this private world of private equity. So if you're interested in getting into private equity, how would you do it? Where would you start? So there is an app. It's called Disruptor. So I'm not recommending it. This is just for information. So the name of this app is called Disruptor, Dizraptor, and they have a list where you can collaborate with other people and buy businesses together. But the stipulations that you have to be an accredited investor. And so I said, well, let's research what is an accredited investor. So that's another milestone, accredited investor. So definition of accredited investor. Net worth over $1 million. And this does not include your primary residence. Net worth over $1 million. and this does not include your primary residence. That's one definition of an accredited investor. So they have several different definitions. And if you meet one of those, then you're considered a accredited investor. So this is one: net worth over $1 million. Second definition: an annual income more than $200,000 in each of the prior 2 years. So for each year of the prior 2 years, you are making over $200,000 a year, with the reasonable expectation of meeting the same in the current year that you're applying for. So we got a net worth over $1 million or annual income more than $200,000. Okay, so we got another definition. If you're married, joint income of $300,000. If you're married, joint income of $300,000. So something like that would be relatively easier to achieve because you're working with a team now. You're not working by yourself. So joint income of $300,000 makes you an accredited investor. So that's another definition. Or if you hold a Series 7, Series 65, or Series 82 licenses, that makes you an accredited investor. So you can get it by studying and taking these tests. Series 7, Series 65, or Series 82 licenses. That makes you an accredited investor. So that's the fourth way. There's another way to be considered an accredited investor. Knowledgeable employee of a private fund. So you're exposed to this world of a private fund and you work there. So that is another way to be an accredited investor. There's more to it. Here's some other definitions of an accredited investor. So you are a professional investment manager from an investment company, executive officers, directors, and general partners of the company selling securities. So you're connected in this world of selling securities or stocks. You're in this world of selling stocks. And you are a professional investment manager from an investment company, an executive officer, director, or general partner of the company selling securities, or in essence, stocks. That's another way to be considered a accredited investor. Then lastly, you are part of an entity that owns investments in excess of $5 million. So a LLC, have you? You're part of an entity that owns investments in excess of $5 million. So these are all definitions of accredited investor. And so you have to meet one of these definitions to be an accredited investor in order to participate in this world called private equity. Looks to me like the easiest way to get that would be to be married and have a joint income of $300,000. Because essentially that's two professionals getting together. That looks like the easiest route to me. The second easiest looks like studying for these licenses. Series 7, Series 65, or Series 82. The third easiest looks like an annual income more than $200,000. So what do you guys think? There's just different paths to becoming what is called an accredited investor so that you can enter this world of private equity where you join together with other people. You invest for the purpose of buying a business, and then every person takes a piece of that profit. That's the world of private equity. So, how do you get into it if you're interested? There's this app called Disruptor, Gizraptor. You have to be an accredited investor. There's also these private equity firms. I would reach out to them and ask them if you're really interested. And then essentially, it's just private businesses, investing in private businesses. There is one private business that I know of that you don't have to be an accredited investor. But for the most part, to enter this world of private equity, the stipulation is that you are an accredited investor. All right. So that's an interesting milestone. Um, if anyone is interested in having that milestone of becoming an accredited investor. What do you guys think? Anyone interested in taking that on? Or are we just taking one step at a time? So, yeah, I just thought that was interesting. Private equity, what is it? What is private equity? So essentially, you are coming together, putting your money together. Goal is to buy a business. And then each person gets that profit. And that's the world of private equity. So something that I find interesting is that, well, two things essentially. There are people out here that are flipping businesses. You heard of flipping homes, right? Flipping homes. Well, there are some people out here that are flipping businesses where you buy a business and your intention is not to run that business. Your intention is to sell it for a higher price. So there's some people out here flipping businesses. And then when you go outside of the world of private equity, say if you're not interested in private equity, then there is a different way to buy business, especially if you're first starting out. You never bought a business before. And outside of the world of private equity, say you're solo, for example, like me. Say you're solo and you would like to start this journey of buying a business that may be foreign to you, right? There's a different way, and that is through seller financing. So essentially, you're not taking any money out of your pocket. You're buying it with no money down, and you're taking that seller financing option. And then you're using the profit from that business to pay this person monthly, right? So they own the business. They're giving you the business through owner financing. So the profit that you're getting from the business, instead of paying a bank, you don't need a loan because you're doing owner financing. Instead of paying a bank, you're paying that person every month. And you're paying it from the profit of your business. And so that's owner financing. And so that's how we would do it if we are just starting out. But I just thought it was interesting that people are off into this whole world of this whole secret world of private equity and how quiet people are is just amazing to me. They're just going to keep all the money, just keep all the money to themselves, right? So that's the world of private equity. So do me a favor. If you like the channel, hit this like button. Also, if you are not an investor, you're not in the stock market, maybe you don't trust the stock market, or maybe you are in the stock market and you just like to know some stocks to buy, check out this link below and join the wait list for the investment group. All right. So before you leave, hit this like button if you're not a subscriber. Hit the subscribe button and notification bell next to it so that you won't miss an episode. And then men out here, check out my hat collection below. This is for men who are on a dating scene. So this is for serious men. This is for good men. So if you're not a good man, it doesn't apply to you. But if you are a good man, check out the link below and see what I have for you. All right. So thank you for watching. Everyone have a good rest of your day. And on your way out, don't forget, hit that like button. Thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day.